had we just gone with the last bit of information about this exact matchup, which was not great for D+. So I think still the underdogs here. We'll see what they can do, whether we can have 3 games here at this T1 home ground, and I'm hoping that we can, because the KSPO Dome is looking absolutely magical, and we just kind of want to stick around, you know?
We will have that matchup against Genji later on this
That's
week,
true. We will come back.
The big rivalry, of course, but for today, it's just this one, as we'll see the Nocturne first before the Bard.
Yeah.
Giving Owner the respect he deserves on one of his best, and honestly, I associate Nocturne with him more than any other player. He was playing it before it was the meta, and I think it is meta because of him as well.
And he was just winning all the time. It was just kind of ridiculous, so I think having that ban come on through is definitely a good idea. There are only 2 more slots, though, and the Orianna, the Cassiopeia, that is where we're running into a little bit of issues. They are going to ban the Cassio themselves, so that does give that Orianna ban over to D+.
Yeah, I think that they're looking for something else here completely.
And Wolf, I need to ask you,
yes.
right? So I was talking to Huni and Wadid yesterday, and we are all kind of in agreement that Vi first pick is a trap.
It is a trap. I'm over it. I don't like it right now. I am in complete agreement. I think you have to build your comp a little bit and then pick Vi.
Wait, why are we not? Well, this is rule number 1.
So I think they were thinking about if there's no Nocturne ban, we might get the Lucian early. We're considering also, of course, the first pick Orianna, if that's left available.
But you're not allowed. Oh my god, they didn't even pick it.
I know, they could have even gone for first pick Jace for Doran. There's a lot of counter picks in this matchup right now, but he's been one of our best Jace players. But ultimately, they give it to POM back to back to back to back in Keria here in this first pick, and see what D+ respond with here. Without the Nocturne, a Lulu lane feels a little bit less good, and they banned the Shen. So it kind of feels in some ways like D+ fell into a bit of a trap here, just trying to get rid of FaZe's Lucian, which is also a good idea, as Showmaker will remind everyone from the last time they played against each other.
Yeah. I think the Orianna, a very good idea. The Jhin going to be locked in here to just free up some space on the bottom side of the map is the way I feel Jhin has been utilized more recently. Allows you to play towards that top side a little bit more effectively because he is so self-sufficient down there towards the bottom side, and provides a lot of utility later on.
If you want to run a Ziggs draft, which, you know, everyone knows I'm not the biggest Ziggs person right now. You could Vi Ziggs here, and now you have a Vi draft, and now Vi makes sense. But instead, with the lane prio they're hoping to achieve here with this Camille, looking for Faker's lock, potentially here.
And look, do you know what this is? And I want to say this slowly. I want this to sink in, everyone.
I have a feeling I know what you're going to say, but I want you to say it.
Brospiration. T1 have looked at Namgung and the incredible play that he made. 0-8 at the time of making the game-winning play. Did not matter the rest of the game state. They still just won the game.
I thought you were going to say that Locke is like the ultimate big brain champion, and that's why it's good for Faker to play it. Because I think that if you know exactly where you need to be and you know how to make a draft to get lane prio, Locke is incredibly strong. And
no. It always comes back to bro with me, Wolf.
Okay. I mean, that you had the much more valid point. I just wanted to add something. As Vi will get taken, so even though it wasn't the setup I was expecting, it's still a Vi draft here with the Camille. And Xin will be the answer here for Lucid. Just have that durable front line, and is one of the better ball carriers, although would have preferred the Jarvan if we're looking at ball carriers alone, or the Nefiri, but ultimately they do end up going for this Xin instead.
Yeah, this is interesting, though, because I feel like this opens the doors for an Olaf pick later. I feel like Jarvan can make that a little bit awkward. Olaf also pretty good into the Vi as well, if he's ever going to get targeted there. Now just going to be focusing on what FaZe wants to be picking up. I do think that Lucid is also just a really good Xin Zhao player. Does pair very well with the Orianna at the same time, so the mid-jungle synergy is going to be there.
Yeah, I think you need something with a little bit of setup here for FaZe. You know, like the Ezreal works perfectly because it is able to match some of the ranges. They're looking for that Olaf pick you were talking about with the Kled ban.
Yeah.
You know, Ezreal can poke so that Faker can follow up with the lock to get those executes when the engage comes through. Makes it really simple. So I like that ban, not just because Pace is an incredible Ezreal player. What else like that would they want to take away here? Or will they now just ban the Olaf with the Kled removed? Those are some considerations. I'd rather just see the Olaf ban. It feels like a safe, sure ban.
But, I mean, you just don't need to ban it. Why don't you just let T1 ban Olaf counters and then pick it? Like, you may as well just do it that way. I find it a little bit strange that T1 are making that Olaf on 4 feel like the right call. Like, if this is a Jax ban, I'm going to lose my mind. It's just very confusing. But we'll see what they do
Olaf
decide to
plus
do.
Jhin is also pretty good, as we'll see the Alistar removed instead here first. The Ziggs was a pick that I was talking about that can help set up the lock, but also works well with Vi and Camille, so I think that's a great ban. It's similar to the Ezreal conversation I was just having. Rel feels pretty good with the Orianna in
I feel like you're
setup.
walking into the Olaf, aren't you? Wait, there is no Vayne ban.
There's no Vayne ban and there's no Jax ban.
Yeah, and the Vayne is a kind of awkward matchup into the Olaf. I was actually having a conversation with Huni about it yesterday.
I feel like this
doesn't necessarily just hard win, but there are options, and D+,
Rel,
I'm worried about the Olaf.
I like the Rel more. They like the Rel more, but I guess this is how you're using counterpick as D+. You're going to match the support with the Camille. Technically could be played top lane, but extremely unlikely. If they pull out like Kalista Renata right now and play the Camille top, that'd be a big
That'd be crazy,
move,
but it'd be blind Camille top, and I don't think that's a good idea.
No, I don't think it's a good idea. But we'll see what they decide to do ultimately here. There's not a whole lot of poke AD carry left. Maybe Varus, but I don't think so. In this draft, they need to get these champions whittled down. Now, they are going to go for the Olaf here ultimately, and it'll probably be a Jax here for Shu as a response.
Yeah, a little bit worried about that. I feel like the Jax has been a little bit less successful, although Frog did kind of go ballistic on it yesterday. Carrier, what are we going to be picking for Pays? That is the question that we have right now.
Varus, I think, can work here, but it is very risky.
Yeah, it's almost feeling like a pick away as well, as the Kai'Sa is what comes in. I feel like Kai'Sa has really been rapidly reaching higher priority here in the LCK. Taeyeon having a great experience on it more recently, and that will be the lock-in. So there's that Jax that you were talking about, Wolf, and it makes a great teamfight comp, but I just don't know whether I necessarily feel like this is the right answer to the Olaf.
I think that it's great with Orianna, it's great with Rel, because any of these AoE pull-ins, either of them set up for a counter-strike, and vice versa can be the case, as the Jax can leap strike in with an Orianna ball on top of him to set up the shockwave, and then set up counter-strike, so the counterplay there is really difficult. The Kai'Sa is the part of this draft here for T1 that I feel like you didn't need, because you already have so many ways to get on top of the back line, and now you're sacrificing a lot of lane with this. If it's like AP Kai'Sa for poke, that's also probably not good, but at least it would give you the opportunity to whittle those health bars down so that Faker can find that success. Because prio-wise here, you got a volatile matchup in topside, you've got a pretty Orianna-favored matchup in mid, and then you have a Kai'Sa lane in the bottom lane. So it can win into Jhin Rel depending on how careers engages go, but the lock is otherwise just going to kind of be waiting for an opportunity a lot of the time in this game. But maybe Pays knows something we don't. Maybe his Kai'Sa is going to be winning lane here. Maybe the Kai'Sa Camille has been practicing a lot and thinks that he can actually overcome this bottom lane. Because if he can, I really do like T1's draft. If they can win lane, that volatile topside matchup for both of these players, by the way. When I think about Shiu and I think about Dora and I think about, I don't know who's going to win that one. And it's pretty scary that one of them might actually just really get ahead.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. This might be a game that's just won on the top side of the map because we know what Olaf can do if he gets ahead. We have seen more and more of them struggle as people sort of develop their idea on how this matchup works. I feel like the way Frog played it yesterday, though, was just exceptional. Let's get on to the Rift, though, for game number 1.
미니언들이 생성되었습니다.
My goodness.
D plus a little bit more muted, as you'd imagine.
Yeah, I was trying to hear whether we actually got it because it's not being fed into our heads. Maybe at the. Oh wait. Okay, no, we're just listening to a lot of chant leader. I think we can start our jobs, Wolf.
Yeah,
I think it's
so.
time. Smash and Korea in position here towards this bottom side of the map as Pays and Carrier. This is an interesting one, and they are going to start off with a pretty nice hook shot, but it's a good crash down here from Korea to start us off. Fourth shot going to be saved for Pays as Korea getting a little bit low, a little bit more shared damage on the T1 side.
I think for the Rel, you want to fight for prio there into the Camille, but aren't ever going to be able to have the same sort of engage at level 1, so does get a lot of health back here as he chokes through that potion. And when they hit level 2, some of that will also go up in terms of his total health and should be able to battle his way back. The observers agree and pan away.
Yeah, Doran already using his exhaust into Shiu's Ignite. So the top lane, a little bit of an exchange to start this one off. It looks like Shiu has a pretty comfortable position. And remember, both of these top laners don't have teleport.
Exactly.
So very important to win at this time.
He has no farm You know, he got a lot of the experience, as you guys could see, underneath his health bar there, but it's a free back for Shiu, and he's going to grab a dagger. So that's going to be a pretty big edge he's going to have in the next exchange that these two have, as Doran will get the farm that's under turret here, can hold that wave in an uncomfortable spot.
And this all goes back to what you were talking about, right? With how Lock works. You want to have priority in your lanes in order to allow for dives, for roams, and all this sort of stuff. Extra positions on the map. Faker right now doing a decent job in lane, but it is Showmaker that's winning these health trades as another Counter-Strike comes in. Shiu is just empowering the flash forward. Gets the flash out of Doran. Leap Strike comes in. One more. It's first blood. Shiu is going to go down. It's a 1-for-1, but remember, Doran's only got 7 farm.
Yeah, he only got 7 of those CS
and it's
there.
Pushing back.
It's pushing
oh my
back.
God.
And, you know, now he doesn't have Flash, and Jax has Leap Strike, so he has just more agency in general in the matchup, as well as the fact that look who's on the top side of the map right now. It's Lucid, so he could take this Scuttle Crab and then just come immediately topside there and challenge Doran on that wave. And so, yes, you got a little bit of push in mid with the Lock with a really nice all in there from Faker, but not winning topside. And again, a volatile matchup with Lock. That's a really, really tough one for how the win con is either going to work out, or in this case, likely not to. But like I said, Lucid topside here. Doran going to find out.
Yep. Is thinking about trying to put a ward down, but it looks like Lucid's position was given away.
He just can't farm, Atlas.
Yeah, he can't. Like, this is the thing, because Lucid could be there, no matter what. And he is going to get some vision down, but this is a disaster. If he had died there, the game would be over.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
but
it
at
just
least
would have been over.
At least he didn't, right? At least he has that knowledge, right? Owner was bottom side, and he's like, look, I don't have vision top side. Now Doran put a ward down, but until that moment, it's like, there's a pretty high chance he's right there with how Shiu has his wave set up, so Doran just has to accept that he can't get that money. This is really frustrating. So we're going to go back to the initial exchange here between these two. Actually, no, I thought we were going to go back to see how they use their sums, but Doran just gets counter-struck as in the bottom lane.
Yeah.
Career's dead.
Going to be Carrier with the kill onto the route. Not entirely sure how that happened to begin with, but definitely a good start here as far as the bottom lane play for T1. Carrier just back to his POM ways here at the home ground.
Yeah. My guess is that Carrier turned a flash of Career's engage into his own engage. So Career wasted. I think Career probably first to move. Let's see. Yes. Career first to move on this one, looking for a backstop. And Carrier is right here.
Yeah, cute idea, but not exactly one that was going to really work out.
It's Hayes who helps get that extra shot in, so the Ignite takes him away.
Oh, in the meantime, Faker taking a bit of damage here in mid as Career does show up, fresh from base. But looks like Faker is doing just fine. Only 5 CS down. Pretty happy about that. Into the ranged matchup. Pays 75% win rate here, 12-4.
He was a
LCK.
big winner on Gen G during the Kai'Sa meta.
And JDG as well. I feel like he did like to play this champion. But not as much success as when he was with Gen G.
That's true. Kai'Sa was very meta during the year he spent at Gen G and fell off a little bit since then. So that's why you see some of those numbers there. Might actually be, funny enough, like one of his lower win rate champions.
Yeah.
for that year, anyways.
Well, Career's moving up. Going to take a few nails here from Faker, but it looks like nothing too much going to happen. Yeah, Lucid's moving in. They know exactly what they need to do, and that is kill Doran before 6. That would be the best thing, but also keep the Olaf down. That is going to be the most important part of this game.
If you can start playing through topside and get these grubs and the Jax side lane win con is online, it sets the Jhin up so incredibly well, and it means your ball carrier is, if you can get an extra arm guard, for example, Shiu is just in such a good spot. Putting the Olaf down is a big win, but getting ahead as Jax for this draft is also amazing. And they won't commit to anything, and it will be a dragon taken by Owner on the other side as a result of this. So T1 still heavily winning on this bottom side of the map, despite a bit of a Jax problem top side.
Yeah, it feels like things are a little bit skewed, but T1 are making the most of it. They have a 600 gold advantage, and they also pick up that first dragon. No tech as far as our souls are concerned, as the Chemtech does come up next. And we'll just have to see how things continue to develop as Pays doesn't find the Void Seeker, but does avoid the Deadly Flourish quite nicely there with the Supercharger.
Career still doesn't have Flash, so very scary for him to be positioning aggressively like that, especially without knowing where Carrier was. Carrier is looking for a punish. Pays hits level 6, but he doesn't get caught. Imagine, though, like a world where FaZe ults on top of Career after he gets found by Keria in the jungle. That's what they were trying to set up for. Could have happened. It would have been such a problem for D+, but it doesn't work out.
Nope, not quite yet. Keria moving down towards his bottom side once again. Was on a little bit of a roam, but doesn't exactly find too much outside of that control ward that he decided not to destroy, which is interesting. Faker, though, you saw that trade earlier on in the mid lane. That was only a few stacks and was really able to do a lot of damage to Showmaker with only the first, hints of items that he's put together.
Absolutely.
So good sign for this mid game for the Lock, where he does just kind of want to take over.
Yeah, you can take a lot of aggressive electrocute trades. I mean, you have to, basically, if you're going to play as Smash Midoriya. You don't want to sit back, otherwise you will just get chipped away at. This is a really valuable ward here. We'll see Keria coming up in the river. Career's already here. And they're just going to clear this wave out. Next fight might be on these grubs. You can see Lucid's pathing topside right now. Owner just returned from base, heading topside. And grubs for this Jax is going to feel amazing for D+, so I think they absolutely want to fight for it. It's an early game Kai'Sa. If she does show up to the fight, she is in mid right now.
And this is where DK have all of their control, right? Yeah. So I think playing towards the top side, grabbing those grubs should be a possibility here. Shiu, going aggressive, does find the stun from the Counter-Strike. No Ragnarok to come out from Doran just yet. The Jax really hitting his stride right now, not even with his first item completed, but T1 look like they're going to go fight for this one. Cease and desist comes down. Lucid's in a lot of trouble, and he should be taken out. He does flash, tries to get back over, but FaZe with the killer instinct was already there. Shiu making his way in, though, and Faker's in a lot of trouble. The flash, the Grandmaster's Might, and down goes the Lock, but still the Shockwave connecting onto two. Shiu is dead, but D+ still looking good in the fight as Career flashes away. 2 for 2 so far, but the Orb is still doing a lot of work, but FaZe is doing more, picks up the double in the end. And is it curtains for T1, or is that just all they get? A Smash gonna be able to get at least one back, so a 3 for 3 as it stands.
I think the big winner, though, in this fight is T1, because this is FaZe with 3 kills. He's 800 gold ahead. He picks up a Kraken Slayer off the fight, and he is just now an incredibly high-power Kai'Sa in a game where that's not necessarily supposed to happen. And he's still got 64 stacks of his call to go through. So now T1 make the call here, even though it's a Xin, that they have enough burst damage, actually, with the Vi here. And it's the correct call with Faker's ultimate there. They're going to be able to get the execute. But now they're super split, right? And she was able to find Faker here, has the amazing flash Counter-Strike, which also gets a second stun onto the Olaf. Olaf goes too low. Smash is able to get over the wall. Smash can't get over the wall here. This fight is a complete wash because he won't escape the sweep from Keria. Super high value as well as they commit flashes on the chase, and then Smash here is able to get some strays, but or just one stray, I should say there, but still a disaster for D+, I would say, but at least they got something out of it. They didn't get the full 3 grubs, they got the 2, and they did get that additional kill there with Smash, and this Jax is still a win con to play through.
Yeah, this is the thing. I think the game state remains the same, but with T1, like, with a little bit more of an advantage, I guess. But it's still top side belongs to DK, bottom side belongs to T1. The problem is, T1 have been pretty good at playing around FaZe. This guy kind of just wins games. He's real good at it. And this Kai'Sa, we saw Taeyeon on it just recently, really be able to carry in the later game as well. And I don't think the Jhin is really going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with FaZe on 3 items, for example. I just don't think it's going to happen.
We've only seen a very select few players play Kai'Sa to success this year. I think the one that comes to mind for most is Teddy, to be honest, but it's a pick that when you get ahead, which often doesn't happen because you lose lane because it's a Kai'Sa draft, it means that you have to make these really incredibly complex plays later on, or the enemy team has to make a mistake and gift you over some kills, or you make that crazy outplay like Teddy does and get a quadra kill. But FaZe is just like, I'm playing easy mode on Kai'Sa. I already did, the hard part is gone. I don't even have to worry about all that stuff. I'm ready to play make right now, and my team is in a strong position to fight for Dragon. They have the first Dragon already. They're going to get double Dragon very likely off of the prio that FaZe still holds down here, basically by himself. And look at all the deep vision they have. There's no contest opportunity. So yes, the Jax is a problem, but the rest of the 80% of the game is a larger one for D+.
It certainly is. Well, Curtain Call is going to come in here as Ona gets to the back of the pit. The Dragon taking a lot of damage as Lucid comes in. Will he be able to get the steal? That's the question. Down to 630, and it is going to be Ono that locks it down. Magnus Storm, though, for Korea is pretty good. Ono going low, but it's Lucid to go down first. Showmaker just a little late to the fight, and down goes the Jin. Korea going to try and canter away, and thanks to the dissonance, he will be able to escape. But a 1 for 2, and Drake goes to T1. That one, definitely T1 favored, and even more so now perhaps, that the crash down is very good here from Korea to deny the play. Faker gets shockwaved by Showmaker though, and he's taking a lot of damage, getting both the damage from the command attack and protect.
I'm actually shocked that Showmaker didn't ult Keria there. He had a huge opportunity to, but maybe thought he didn't have enough damage to kill him. It would have been close, but ultimately just uses the ultimate here onto Faker to stabilize in lane. It's 1,000 gold the advantage for Shio on this Jax, and it's a volatile, game here where you can definitely come back with a really nice Counter-Strike play, but this is all that Smash can do in this fight, really, is try to keep them at arm's length here. It's a really easy smite here for the Vi, as initially, it's like, okay, maybe this fight's a little bit too messy, too broken up, maybe Smash gets something done, but they just isolate him here. Showmaker can't really get access. He doesn't do consistent DPS. The most fed member in the entire game is this Kaisa, who has a Kraken Slayer, and she's free hitting, so it's not a good thing for D+ in that fight overall. And once again, T1, yes, they got zoned, but they made the aggressive call there. They punish Career's engage and are able to come ahead the victors here. Almost 2,000 gold ahead, and half of it is Paze's. The other half now is Faker's with 3 kills on the lock.
Yeah, he's looking absolutely massive. Storm Surge already done. A lot of the time we do see very early Lich Banes to come on through, but this Storm Surge that's been the development more recently is really doing a bunch of work. Execution is the name of the game, and Faker already 3-1-1, getting a couple of those executions so far in this game. As Smash does complete his cull, as you just saw on the screen, and so Paze's lead is going to be a bit smaller until he takes 16 CS, and then it's going to be much larger again.
Yeah, you can see that cull completion even on the graph.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny. I do think that the next fight over this Herald could be game-defining. It's the fight that I think at this point is still very winnable for D+, because it's on the top side of the map, where they have a lot of control. Both top laners do have teleport now.
Yep.
And so if they can win a fight here, they're just right back in it. As maybe Keria is caught.
Yeah, there's a deadly flourish. He's taking a lot of damage. There's the Hextech ultimatum. Gets himself over the wall. Cease and desist comes on forward. Career in a lot of trouble. As now Smash is fighting Paze, but I don't think he likes those odds. As in come both of the top laners. Ona gets deadly flourish. Shiu not even able to take down the Vi just yet. The flash doesn't work. Keria outplays it. It's still a double. Leap strike denied. Paze gets even more, and Faker is picking up so many kills in these fights. 3-0-5 on the Kaisa, and Faker grabs another kill.
This is a disaster for D+. It's not how they wanted it to go. It's a circus again, but the good kind for T1. As it turns out, it's not just Faker who is the come at the king, you best not miss. It's Keria too. They get so much lockdown on him, and look at this. Ults here and gets over the wall. So now you've used so many resources to try to kill a Camille, and then Owner's up here in the front line. Both top laners TP in. Doran's here first though, and he's the scarier one in a scrappy fight like this. Shiu needs a little bit more setup, and the attempt here from the Jin to try to turn this fight around is feeble at best. But that's kind of how these fights have been looking for D+ every single time. T1's lead increases here.
Oh dear. This could be dangerous for Shia. They're going to look to finish off this turret and then finish off the Jax. Can he kill Doran in the meantime is the question. The answer, ladies and gentlemen, is no.
And they're getting the Herald on the top side. I guess
that's something.
I guess that's something, because the Herald wasn't taken in that previous fight. It wasn't spawned yet.
Oh my god.
But it is very, very messy here. Now let's see what D+ are able to do with this Herald, because they can maybe use it to win a dragon fight here. They got a big wave.
2 items, Wolf.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to think of the pauses for T+ right now. There's a lot of good things for T1 right now, at least.
Yeah.
Look, they have a Herald. Maybe they could try to use it either in as a combat Herald here if T1 overcommit, or perhaps just to get prio for this dragon. But it's just an Ocean Soul here that neither of these teams, I think, are ready to send the whole game over. But T1 hold all the cards right now.
I do think Ocean Soul is incredibly good for an Olaf. So I think D+ probably want to deny this if they can. Soul Point is always just so powerful anyway. As Owner with control of this brush. Smash maybe in a little bit of danger, but Owner just going to back away as they do start off this dragon as it spawns. Faker shows up here, and Shiu is still extremely strong.
I think there's a really strong angle here for a fight for D+, because FaZe has no flash, no cleanse. He has to stay so far back.
Information is pretty good here as well as they spot Carrier out, but he still goes in. Cease and desist into the backline as Showmaker is engaged on Shockwave. Is pretty decent, but down goes the Orianna. It's a solo kill for Faker in the top lane as well. Yeah, I'm understanding these, like, the question mark pings that were coming out. What the hell happened up there? But two are dead as well from D+ on this bottom side, and that's soul point to T1.
It's a disaster again as Lucid wants to come up here and get the Faker punish, and that's a lock. I think he's pretty quick. I think he's got a bit of mobility. I don't think you're going to get him. Faker's going to get out again, and Lucid's just going to try to catch some of this jungle here as a bit of a consolation prize.
Oh my goodness! This is really fallen by the wayside quickly. Has it not?
It's somewhat reminiscent of the last time we saw these teams match up, where D+ just fell a little bit too far behind early with some aggressive team fights, and then T1 run away with the game. T1 doesn't always scrap, but you don't want to scrap with T1 as Faker just avoids the counter-strike, and then he's like, you're dead.
Yeah.
Ults him in point-blank range, and he's like, I will hit that threshold. I've got my Storm Surge. And I think Shiu, he knew he had to try to do something there, but there wasn't much he could do. This engage is amazing, right? Keria and Owner collapsing it on top of Showmaker here. There's not enough damage because they have a Jhin as their secondary source of damage. Their Jax is dead, not able to join the fight. But the snap engage, this dive comp is incredibly powerful, especially from ahead.
Yeah, and now Faker is actually building defensively. Pei's going aggressive onto Smash here, but the arm guard that Faker has is going to make life so much more difficult for D+, and he's getting closer and closer to just having a Zhonya, so he doesn't even need to worry about breaking it or anything like that at this stage. Smash has gone for the in 5 items I'm going to do damage build, and I don't think he's going to get there. I think this game is already kind of feeling on its last leg. 6,000 gold the lead for T1, and turrets has fallen all over the place.
When Faker gets that extra bit of durability, plus the Zhonya, which is completed, by the way, now.
Yeah.
It's no longer an arm guard. He will be able to get a second set of combos off. One of the things about Locke, I've dubbed him the cheerleader when he's not doing well. He doesn't have agency. Is the ability to burst him down when he goes in for his initial ult drop and combo. You can kill him quickly. So often he just kind of waits for the rest of the team to do the work, and then he's the finisher, he's the closer. But when you actually have Zhonya's, you can be the starter and the ender of the team fight. You can go in first, layer all that damage, and drop your ultimate down, and then pop out of Zhonya's and do it again.
Oh, well, Lucid looking for an angle towards Faker here. Let's see whether he can outplay it as the Audacious Charge does come on through. There's the Purgatory, and Faker is going to then try and use that Ashen Pursuit to get himself out, but I don't think it's going to work. Eats the Grey Health, still goes down, and Lucid going to claim that kill. What are they getting on the cross map, though? That's the question, and the answer is Smash, as the cease and desist is going to come on in, and you didn't need to tell him twice. He is just dead.
Gonna get Smash and the whole turret. And that's a huge prize, considering they did not lose their turret to Herald. Herald is still in inventory, by the way. The one thing that D+ got this game hasn't even been used yet. They still have their turret up. They get the mid-turret Heraldless on the cross map. And it's just a whole disaster here again. I mean, I keep using that word, but like, nothing is going right.
It's pretty disastrous, Wolf. I can completely understand.
I mean, this is, Keria tries to rotate up and Faker calls off the play. You can see the moment on the main map where Keria's like, okay.
Yeah, he's like, I'm dead, just take mid.
Yeah, and they all just swarm Smash, who thinks he's safe between two turrets. What he doesn't know is a Camille in his jungle, flying through a Vi. Vi Camille, this is the Vi draft angle we were talking about with this amount of burst, with the Kai'Sa follow-up, with the Kai'Sa not supposed to be as fed as she is, but when she's really fed.
She's got 3 items,
I guess
man.
Vi is good, man. I guess it works.
Yeah, and she's a very good win-more champion, always has been. And I also think, like, remember, the Vi was picked 3rd here. They already had a bit of a draft identity to understand how this was going to work, as Lucid goes in onto Pei's, and then goes in onto Shelly and starts doing donuts and decides
that's how they use the Rift Herald.
Yeah, this Herald is just going to do nothing at all.
That's the state of the game.
Yeah, that's the state of D+ right now. Not really understanding what they're supposed to be going for, not able to use their resources all that effectively. And when you're this far behind, I mean, we're not going to give them too much beef for it, but it is a bit problematic. Showmaker's also pretending to be Ryze and Cassiopeia, but is instead a Clockwork Lady. And I don't know whether I like the build as much, but he is going to be quite tanky and will be able to avoid death from Faker relatively effectively
I think at this point,
as well.
for D+, you have to build like this as Showmaker, and you have to hope that even though you have to put yourself in harm's way and play greedily, play riskily, that you can have one Shockwave that sets up a Rel or Jack's follow-up, because you have to win this game off a mistake from T1. If they're too clumped and you have that one opportunity, that one moment, you can steal this game away because this comp is incredibly powerful even from behind if it can wombo T1. But T1, I don't think are going to give you that chance. I don't think they're going to give you that opportunity, but you have to pray for it if you are D+, because that's the one way back into this game is some sort of crazy setup.
Yeah, but I just don't think they have the damage, right? Especially if this Ocean Soul comes in for T1. The opening salvo needs to kill Pays before he can press ult. The problem is he's got Cleanse. He's got so many other options here. Thankfully, I mean, Carrier's playing Camille, so he doesn't have Mikhail's or anything like that. So there's only one Cleanse they need to worry about. But I don't know. I think Pays probably got enough money in his hordes of cash in order to buy a QSS as well. And
I mean, look at all this
really hard.
This posturing for D+, but the Dragon is being taken. Shu can't even get access to the fight.
Yeah, Shu is just going to have to walk away. The curtains are being called, but Faker is just going to look for Smash. Doran taking a lot of damage, does pull the trigger as now the exhaust onto Faker is decent. Purgatory comes down and they all just explode. Smash gets encircled completely, and Shu's just wondering where the heck his teammates went. There's a counter-strike. It should be a quadra here for Faker, as Pays will be taken out. But that is all. That's the only thing they get for the ace for T1.
They will get Ocean Soul, and they will likely be able to open up this mid-turret if they want to commit to it, but they can also just use the prio. They have to go straight to Baron. As Owner's on smite duty, double time here across both objectives. Post the fight. Baker's going to push deep. Looks like they're not going to go for Baron just yet. These death timers are still pretty small here. We're only 25 minutes or so into this game. Actually, only 23 and a half. As watch Shu in this fight, like he can't get access here, and then he's like, well, when they go on Showmaker, he'll Shock Blast, and I'll follow. So he's like, I'm waiting for your call, Showmaker, on this one. This Faker's still denying him entry, right? When the carry buy engage comes through again, Shu was like, I'm waiting for that Shockwave. I thought there was an Orianna on my team. I didn't see any Shockwaves. He just leaves right away. He's like, no, there's nothing I can do. At least is able to get a kill back here, and it is a shutdown. 1,000 gold, almost 1,100 gold goes over to him on that play. So that's something. You know, he's only 79 gold behind.
There you go.
He got that arm guard that I was talking about that, you know, as soon as you get a bunch of money, you can pick that one up. He has that. And again, we're going back to square one here where D+ have to go for some sort of Hail Mary and look for a wombo. Maybe even starting the Baron if T1 back here away and looking for that kind of crazy turn could be the way to steal this game away. As Shu has top damage in the game.
Just hasn't really seemed to matter as he spent a lot of the game just smacking Doran around. Doran's 6-2-8. Like, the scoreline looks great. Unintentional rhyme, I apologize. But it hasn't really... It's funny because Shu is still just so massive here in this game. Just quietly in the team fights, Doran's making it happen. Ona finding an angle towards Korea, though. There's a great Shattering Strike to try and get rid of the Vi, but he's still taking so much damage. Crashes away, and there is Faker with the execute. There's Lucid also throwing out his ulti, but I just don't know whether it's going to be enough to save Shiu, who's on the other side of the fight, just dying. Ona going to Volt break him, and down goes the Jax once again.
You almost killed the Olaf, but he had flash and you didn't. And so, didn't even get anything on that side of the fight.
And it's a 9,000 gold lead.
Yeah, it's a 9,100 gold lead. I don't know, I had to follow up with something.
Yeah.
As they get the Baron, they push it to 10K, they're going to get this inner. And now we're just reading gold leads, and we're reading the obituary of D+, so there's no way back in this game anymore. Even if you get a wombo combo, I don't think you can win a fight. Like you said, the damage is so minuscule.
And this is one of my favorite things as well, because I feel like this has been a plan from T1s from the very beginning of the draft, right? With their ban strategy, it is bait the Orianna pick, and then use it to give Locke a lane that Faker is very comfortable playing. I don't necessarily feel like this is like Locke favored or anything, but it's very obvious that Faker is super confident in this matchup specifically, and man, have they really gone to town on it.
Yeah, Shu doesn't have flash to follow Doran there. Doran just heals back up. Now they've got Ocean Soul. I've had it for a little while here.
Faker shouldn't have been given the nail gun, Wolf, as Lucid is in a lot of trouble. Shockwave does come on through, though, and Faker will be shut down. Clockwork Windup going to be helping out there. Showmaker does get that kill.
Can they punish Doran? I don't think so. He doesn't have flash, but he has his ult.
He's level 17 and she was level 15. She was winning by like 2,000 gold in this game. It's insane. Doran really has just become a behemoth in the later stages of this one. 11,000 gold. A lot of it is thanks to his teammates, but Doran has been a huge benefactor here as 2 Siege minions looking to take down this bottom inhibitor turret, and everyone else on T1 is looking to push through mid. And I don't know whether D+ are going to be able to do anything about it. Doran does take a lot of damage from Showmaker here. She was so mad. He's so ready to just fight whatever's in front of him.
Yeah, he really is, but unfortunately for him, I don't think he's going to ever have another chance in this game. And T1, I mean, they haven't been able to end the game. There's an Orion on the other side, so the wave clear is pretty intense, but this was a bit overzealous from Faker. Look at how far away Keria is. I think if Keria is a little bit closer here, this is so easy, but he just gets Crescent Guard denied, or the follow-up is Crescent Guard denied as Showmaker shows up here. To me, it's pretty close by, but it just doesn't matter, you know? Like, if this was a game-losing play, people would criticize Faker for, oh, maybe he should have realized, but like, it's just not. Yeah, he's not even. He's laughing probably in the death chamber. He probably doesn't care at all.
It's a 3,000 gold lead for just Faker. Over Showmaker right now, this Orianna is so far behind here in this game as they are going to look for an engage onto Pays. He's going to go golden, but I don't know whether that's going to be enough to save him. As Downey will go, Dissonance is going to be there to finish him off.
I mean, if a few more of these mistakes happen, then we could start talking about it.
Is there an elephant on a ball balancing somewhere in backstage? Like, I'm a little bit interested in how this one's sort of moving right now.
Well, I think in this moment, Pays might not have been able to correctly breathe fire.
Oh, no. Well, Doran is just going to look to dive on top of Showmaker, and that is going to be a mistake. And he just runs his way out of there. Successful escape, but he is going to have to avoid a few of these shots. Ona just gets in front of the Olaf and is able to defend him.
That would have been very comical if that still somehow killed him. But bounty gold, you know? Elder's up in 40 seconds.
Yeah. This is problematic. Pays is going to be up in 5, so they will be able to get together. But based on what we've just been seeing, maybe we're on more even footing than we thought, because this was a shellacking, right?
Yeah, so, I mean, unfortunately, there's just too many buttons for Pays to outplay there. Like, he has Cleanse and Flash. His Flash was amazing, but if it was just the one engage, then D+ wouldn't have gone for it, right? They had all the follow-up there, and he didn't have any friends nearby. And it was a good play from D+. I would say if you're Pays, you're just trying to maximize your advantage in that moment and got a bit overzealous, just like Faker moments before. They still get prio for this Elder. Doran is showing up here. He does have TP, but won't even need it, it looks like here. Now let's see who they kill this time with the Vi Camille engage. That's the same, you know, rinse and repeat we've been seeing for every single objective fight is Keria and Owner. Support jungle, kill the carry. And the carry, it's not really been the Jhin. It's been Showmaker they keep killing because he's the bigger threat in this game.
I think she was also pretty dangerous, but Ona on the biggest wraparound of his life is looking to get in behind D+. So far it's working. They do have decent defensive vision. They are going to find him out right now as he makes his way in. As Shio is just looking to push this way forward, put the pressure on as the Elder is getting started by T1.
D+
decent
really
vision. Yeah, decent vision here for D+ right now. But you can see Faker and Keria making their way over. The Purgatory combo alongside that Hextech Ultimatum is so dangerous as there's the cease and desist. They do try and flash their way.
There's the combo!
It's going to be the target. The combo in the backline, though, is massive. But still down go the carries. Lucid is pushed away. She was still at full health, but he's missing all of his teammates. Lucid going to try and escape, but there's a counter-strike and a dream here for this Jax. And unfortunately, it's going to turn into a nightmare as Lucid's going to escape. But I mean, where are you going to go, my friend? Maybe
I think we'll
to
see
game
him in
number
game 2.
2.
Yeah, I think you and I are on the same page on that one. The only person more upset than CV Max about that team fight is Valdez as the blast cone gets Pays away. Gio made the play, they had the combo, but they were just too far behind. The fact that at 10,000 gold behind, D+ got that fight in the first place is I think what the T1 coaching staff might be taking a look at after this game, but ultimately they still win it. They're so far ahead. No cooldown on that Zhonya's for Faker. They win in dominant fashion, 31 minutes here at the home ground. And if we did POGs, I think Carrier would still get it, but he and Owner.
When that happened.
We like Painter, but you know.
Yeah, it's
Owner
nothing
is the
against
guy.
Painter is a great player. We've been casting him throughout the Kesper Cup, and he's been brilliant. And it's just unfortunate. You know, it's like being Lucid when Canyon was the jungler. Like, what's she gonna do? I don't know.
The comeback game of a century. You know?
나 치아야 나와 얘네.
시작. 좀 더 끌어야 돼.
끌어 끌어.
끌고 그냥 쌈 건다.
확인. 2, 5초.
얘 손치 한번 태워줘.
오케이 오케이. 뺄게 일단. 땀 보는 거야?
쌈 볼게. 오케이.
형이.
오케이. 지금 받고 나. 나 간이 있어. 지금 잡았지.
잡아. 꼬리 잡았거든. 뒤에 봐줘. 정리 봐줘. 안 줘.
미드라 끌어. 난 짜고 쫓아갈게.
섹스 사면 이거 라인. 잡았어? 미드 갈게. 나 짜고 잡을게.
짜고 지금 못 가.
안 잡아도 끝나겠다. 나 미드 갈게. 1대1 얘기지?
1대1.